Hey everyone, this is Nina from ROADIE Free Radio. In this clip, Larry talks to Ritchie Fliegler, aka the Amp Guy. Here, Ritchie tells us what he learned from Lou Reed, who he played guitar with, like, professionally. If you want to hear more from Ritchie, you can listen to the full episode, number 133, from April 19th, 2019. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Here's Larry and Ritchie Fliegler.
What did you learn from a guy like Lou Reed? Because you're also talking late 70s, early 80s Lou Reed.
Yeah.
Guys, he's got some miles under him at that point. He's learned a few things. What did you learn from being in a band with him?
Yeah. So I learned the same thing from Lou and John that I learned from working with Bill Schultz at Fender and Jim Marshall and all these other guys. And when at that sound check, that first sound check when I was going, it's like Lou just looked at me and says, and remember, there's 3 guitar players in this band, right? There's you, Stewie, and me, him, right?
Yeah.
And he says, if you don't know what to play, just play nothing. And I looked at him and I said, really? He says, yeah, just play nothing. It'll be fine. And if I learned anything from Lou, it was if you don't know what to play, just play nothing. And the power of doing nothing, of laying out, is a big part of it.
Yeah.
So I learned, and I also learned the power of these guys. I've done a bunch of shows here with Alice Cooper, right? Who's a homie in town here, and mutual friends, and his favorite band is the Yardbirds. And I was playing with a bunch of, we did a team building exercise at Fender, where I really fought it. I said, the Monkees are going to put together a band for the accountants, right? And the board of directors said, no, you're going to have to do it. So I said, okay, well, I'll put together the band and shut everybody up, right?
Yeah.
So we put this band together called the Saucy Jacks with the killers of the company, right? And we did all, Stones, Beatles, Who, Yardbirds, Kinks, and just went out there with guns blazing, you know what I mean? So much so, it came to the, Alice found out about it and said, my favorite band is the Yardbirds. I would like to play with these guys, right? and we've done a bunch of, he has a big charity show, big involved in the community here, right?
Yeah.
And so we're playing, it's like, we're being backed up at one point by Robbie Krieger, who, you used to be in, what was that band you were in? You wrote that Light My Fire song. What was that, right? You know what I mean? So we're the same as Lou. These guys, until you've put together a set list, you sit down at a table with every song in the world available to you, and you sit down with Alice Cooper, who's been putting together set lists since I was 15 years old. And you go, what's a set list, right? This guy is the freaking Leonardo da Vinci of putting together a set, right? It was mind blowing. So
why? Because what did he do?
He it's up, it's down, it's quiet, it's loud, it's pulling him in, pushing him away. It's a complete. It's not individual songs. It's an hour and a half of it's an hour and a half experience, continuum of things, right?
Yeah,
And so with Lou, with John, it was the same kind of thing. You know what I mean? These guys, we did, I played on the Street Hassle album, which was pretty crazy. We did it at the record plant. And it was the first album recorded binaurally, with those heads.
Yeah.
So, it's like I'd look at my amp and in the middle of at the record plant, instead of having like an 87 or something, there's like a head in front of the amp. You know what I mean? It was like, so I learned a lot from him about, play nothing and all this stuff. But the essence of a rock show, the essence of, how do you have a 50, 60-year career in rock music, not by accident? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's hard for me to say anything, and this one thing or that one thing.
Yeah.
But these guys, they were mofos, man. They were like, to see that, to be intimate with that.
Yeah.
Is and the same way to be intimate with Jim Marshall, you know what I mean? To sit down and to be intimate with Bill Schultz and Mike Hill and Ken Brand and these guys, to be that intimate with Bob, you know what I mean? When Leslie and I got married, we had 12 people at our wedding. 2 of them were Bob and Annie. You know what I mean? He's a brother of the highest brotherly order. You know what I mean?
Right.
To be able to, be that close, to be literally intimate with those kind of people who know those things is, what do you learn from it? I don't know. You learn how to be a human being. You learn how to do everything right. You learn to know when you've blown it and to be able to say, you know what, that sucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But conversely, you also know when to stand up and go, oh, you know what? I am God. I have done this.
Right. Hey, what's happening, roadies? It's Larry here. Just wanted to thank you so much for listening to this short clip. I really hope you got something out of it. If you can take 2 seconds to head over to iTunes and drop us a review or a comment, we would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Keep listening, keep coming back, stay healthy out there, and remember, no roadies, no rock and roll.